Okay, so this is my new bicycle. It's a Trek FX3. I didn't know what brand or make I wanted or what sort of bicycle I wanted, but I did know what sort of features I wanted, so I wrote a long list out and then took it into a local independent bicycle shop, because I find that they generally have a better knowledge than the larger organisations. I'm sure there's many members of staff that do have a good knowledge too, but sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss, so I thought I would use an independent bicycle shop to purchase my bicycle from. It's actually designed for sort of like city commuting and, you know, general purpose. I think it's aluminium frame. It's got about 10 gears, which is fine for my purposes, and the features that I wanted, because I plan on touring with it, you see, are that I needed to be able to take panniers, and I wanted I like the sort of like BMX type of pedals, simply because if you're wearing different types of ladies' shoes, sometimes the soles can be quite slippy, and with the pedals that generally come with the bicycle. So with the metal, I've found that I can pretty much wear any shoe, and I don't have to even consider it. My feet aren't going to slip off those when it's raining. Changed the bell and had the bar ends put on. Also, we've got this front pannier bracket, and the only thing that I'm not sure about this is because the panniers that I have are supposed to hook right down, but on this particular model there's this metal bar here, so they just clip on, but I've tried yanking them off and I can't get them off, so I'm sure they're absolutely fine. It came with the stand, and the seat's the original one. We had the bottle bracket put on, and the lights came with it. I did have the inner tubes changed, simply because I like a bicycle to have the same type of valve that a car would have, because then if you find your pump's rubbish or you lose it, you can always go to a garage and pump your tyres up at pretty much anywhere in the world. So that's why I tend to change the inner tubes for inner tubes that have got Schrader valves. What else did we have done apart from the pedals? I think that's about it. Oh, down here, this is a fixing for a dog trailer, which I'll tell you about that in another video. So let's put the panniers on. You can see that I've just marked on the panniers, on the back of the panniers, which are the left and right, because then I don't have to adjust them, I can just pop them on. That's not coming off. If I show you on this one, you can see when I pull this handle, this bit here goes all the way back, and it's supposed to actually encircle the pannier bar, but on mine it'll go about there, but once it's on it still doesn't come off. Eye on that one, there we go. Can you see? They aren't going anywhere. They seem a bit rattly, but once you've got some weight in there, they're not going to move. So now we pop the back ones on. You can see I've got the left and the right again. think the back ones are a little bit easier. They're not on, that's it, okay. And with the panniers, these ones are Ortleib, which generally considered to be a very good brand. They're not the biggest. I have had bigger panniers. I've had some Super C's, which are quite old-fashioned, but perfectly good. And you can see in there, they're quite big, and they've got this thing, which I don't really know what it is yet, but it seems quite waterproof, so you could pop your laptop in there, I imagine. A little bit of extra protection. And what you do is just roll it up so it's a bit like a dry bag. And then these clips, into here like that, and then you just pull it down and secure it there, and then that's just a little bit of extra safety. So those are how their panniers work. They're really simple. They're quite cool looking actually. The Super C's that I used to have weren't particularly cool looking, but they did the job. The other thing that I forgot to mention about the bicycle was the bell. It came with what I call is a ping bell, and this is what I call a ding-a-ling bell, because it has more than one note, whereas the ping bells, they just, you know, they've got a little spring and you hit it once and that's it. I've also got this, which actually fits on over there like that. So you undo this, I think. You then pop that on there like that, that on there like that, and then we'll do the same the other side. Take the handle off personally myself. Pop that in there, and then that in there. Oops, not quite. Where is it? There it is. And then you put your tent and things like that in the back. Another thing about the lights is this one is actually fixed on. It's only got one setting. And this is the one, these come with the bicycle, and again I think that's got two, so it's got like a normal and then a brighter version, and for the front light it just pulls off, I think. Yeah, and then you charge it with this UV, just plug it into a USB port. And that's my bicycle. The gears, how do I put this on? There we go. We'll just have a little ride round with it. I'm just going to take this off because it'll just bounce around because everything's empty. I'll just take that off and then I'll throw that over my shoulder. There we go. There we go. So the gears are Shimano gears. To change up into a high gear, you use your index finger, and to change into a lower gear, you use your thumb. They're actually very smooth. At the minute, the bicycles that I've got have all got hub gears, So on hub gears, you stop pedalling to change gear, and then whilst the pedals aren't turning, the gear changes. Because these are derailleur, you have to pedal to change gear. And it's just something that you've got to remember if you ride different bicycles like I do. It's actually very nice to ride. One of the reasons why I wanted the bar ends was when you're doing long journeys on a bicycle, you just want to be able to change the position of your hands sometimes, and just relieve your muscles and pressure, you know, give them a little rest and a change. But it is very nice to ride this bicycle, and it doesn't rattle. Bicycles that are normally, oh, that's the rattling that you may be able to hear. It's not the bicycle, it's just the panniers, because there's no weight in the panniers at all. They're completely empty. I think I'm going to enjoy riding this bicycle and doing lots of exciting trips all over the UK and Europe, perhaps. It's a real good all-rounder. One of the reasons why I wanted mudguards was, you know, I do cycle in all weathers, and I don't like to get splashed with mud. You know, you see riders with mud up the back or all over the shins. So I do always go for a bicycle that's got full mud guards. You may notice that on this bicycle, the front pannier bracket is actually connected. The left and the right sides are connected with a bar that goes over the top of the wheel. That's just to allow for extra stability. If you load, I'm just going to turn around here and we'll go back. If you overload panniers, which people often do, what can happen is that the bracket can actually warp and it can start bending into, you know, nearer the wheel, possibly even get into the spokes perhaps. But anyway, it could become a problem, and that bar over the top, it just provides that extra bit of stability to stop the actual brackets from bending. It gives a sort of like 3-point fixing as opposed to a 2-point fixing. I have raised the seat. Most people that just cycle for leisure every now and again, they normally always have the seat far too low. What you want is for your leg when cycling to be almost straight, but not straight enough where you can easily lock your knee. Then it's too high and you can damage your knees. If you're learning to cycle, you want your seat low, or if you're not very confident, you probably want it low. But if you're a confident cyclist, it's actually much easier to cycle, if you got your seat at a height, that's really rather good, because what happens is you use your weight to push down as well as your muscles, so it's easier to cycle. You're using your natural body weight, whereas if you have it quite low down, it's pretty much all muscle energy that you're putting into pushing those pedals round. Anyway, all the links are at the bottom of the page for products that I've been talking about, and I hope this helps you decide what sort of things that you want on your bicycle. I'm enjoying mine.